Start streaming. Okay, let's get this thing started. Alrighty. Uh, I don't remember if I had like a set thing to cover this week. I've just been like really crazy busy, just um drawing up some furry auctions, and I think I did pretty well, and I still got like three more to complete and post. Well, I guess two more to complete and three more to post once they're up. But anyway, uh, I'll just put this aside right now, and gonna have this uh, how to art be on foreshortening again, because I don't remember if I had scheduled something this week. Just I don't remember because again I've been pretty busy. But anyway, um, hello subscribers, patrons, family, fans, followers, supporters, and generally everybody who happens to stumble across my videos. This is Johnston Blackhorse, and I welcome you to another How to Art video streaming session thingamajig. And in this one, like I said, we'll be covering foreshortening again. Hooray! And before we get started, if you want to support the creation of more tutorials or other videos I do, like sketchbook tours, and I do stream on Picardo, feel free to become or swing by my Patreon page. It's linked in the description section below. Check out my Patreon. There's a lot of cool free art there, and if you like what you see, just consider clicking that become a patron button. And if you want to see like more free art, I do have membership at various art forums such as DeviantArt, Fur Affinity, and Ink Bunny, and those links as well as my Picardo channel are all linked in the description section below. And if you want to see even more free art, I have an autobiographical blog, so there's a lot of free artwork there, and for a little more incentive to become a patron, like the free art that you see there, all the high resolution scans are available on Patreon when you do, or if you do decide to become a patron. So yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, on with the lesson and doing foreshortening. I can't remember what we did last week. Okay, wait. Now I remember. Now I remembers. All right, so I guess just gonna do a little more foreshortening, and I guess oh man, my eyes are bugging out on me right now. Just do like maybe a few more extreme angles. Right now I'm just gonna scribble out like a little pose, like a maybe you have a character lying down or something. So scribble out a little sketch of a character lying on their back, or maybe this is like a camera view or really low angle of this character standing or something. And as I scribble out this little sketch, I'm just kind of keeping in mind the perspective, and it's like just really loose perspective. You don't have to um, what's the word? Just be so precise about it. If I were drawing like a couch in perspective or whatever, like yeah, I might utilize like a vanishing point with some of those lines coming from that vanishing point. But anyway, since this is like a uh, fleshy, like a humanized figure, like there really are no like straight points or edges, hard edges to just really follow along with. So right now I'm just doing like a really loose sketch. of an extreme angle. And as you can see here, I'm like doing like little circles for the joints or the form of the arms. Man, I'm really out of it today. Oh, hello. Let's see. Oh shoot. Keep closing my windows. These crazy windows here and there. Just got to keep an eye on the chat and my stream health, various other things. So hello, Rudy Hoshino, and Cal Larkin. Yes, Cal Larkin says it's the one and only. Hi, JB. Yes, it's the one and only Johnston Blackhorse. Hello, welcome, welcome to my stream. Welcome to my how to art tutorial. Okay, before I get too in depth, oh, let me do this other hand over on the other side. Oh man, I just realized I haven't really eaten much today. What did I eat? Did I have a sandwich? I think I, no. Oh no, I had a couple burritos. Had a couple of like microwave burritos, but I don't microwave my burritos. I put them in a on a pan and place them on the stove and let them heat up that way and cover them. Like I try to avoid microwaving stuff as much as possible sometimes, just because I just feel like I'm too unhealthy to ingest too much microwave food or dishes. But yeah, that's all I had to eat today. It was just a couple of like those warm up burritos. I gotta eat something after I'm done with this. I just forget to eat. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so off right now. I'm just so weak, off balance. But anyway, before I get too far in with the sketch, I'm gonna just create another layer, drop the opacity on this, and then start detailing another layer. And oh hey, what's up, Robin Kesmarsik? Kesmarsik says, hey hey. Cal Larkin says, I had one meal. Ditto. Kesmarsik says, you are a legend, my man. You are a legend. Oh, thank you. Larkin says, microwave mentally can't eat if it can't eat it if it's not microwavable. Microwave mentality, can't eat it if it's not microwavable. Kesmarsik says, do you smoke weed? No, I don't. Years ago, I had a bad reaction, and then I attempted to smoke weed again afterwards, but like again, it just same bad reaction, more or less. And I just abstained from it. And even if I had the choice to, I'm not allowed to, being on probation, because weed is still illegal in the feds, and when you're on federal probation, it's just not allowed, even if the state I live in is a legalized state. Um, Kel Larkin says, I'm guilty of it too much. Yeah. Kesmarsik says, here watching your show, bro. Cool. All right. Okay, so I dropped the opacity on this layer. Just hopefully you can see it. I keep accidentally closing or switching out of my windows. I gotta minimize this thing. There we go. There we go. Now I can see everything. Kesmarsik says, too bad, I'll smoke one for you. Cool. Let's see. So I dropped the opacity. So I'm going to go in here and just, for the sake of the people who are going to download this file later, I'm making a new layer and just going to detail this figure on top of my rough sketch. So here I'm just going to go in. Right now I'm detailing the rib cage portion of the torso. And it's going to do like a slight sketch of the spine, top of the rib cage, or just like where the torso meets the neck. And then I'm just gonna detail some of the main structure of the body, like the just rudimentary sketch lines of the skeletal structure, and then just tubular and spherical shapes for the um, extremities and the joints. Just to keep in mind the form and structure of the figure I'm drawing. Kazmarksik is just saying that he would really like me to illustrate all of his novels. He says doesn't think that the world is ready. I don't think the world is ready either. But I'm pretty sure someday they will be. Someday soon. I can almost feel it in my bones. There's a change gonna be coming. Okay, here I'm gonna sketch a little bit of somewhat of the rudimentary pelvic bone structure. Make a point to like really get a good sense of where the iliac crest is, and that's like the hip bones that sort of protrude right here on the top of your hips, right below your ribs. Let's bring this down a bit, get a sense of where the glutes are. I got this ligament that connects to the iliac crest here, and then it just wraps around the inner thigh. And to know how like some of these muscles wrap around, like you just got to study like anatomy books, and I have a few anatomy books which I refer to every now and then. And one of them, my favorite one that I always refer to, is the Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist by Stephen Rogers Peck. Again, that's the Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist. Look it up. If you can find a copy on Amazon, just friggin' buy it. Let's see. Skullhead just jumped in. Says, I'm ready. Kazmarsk says, Kickstarter seems to think so too, but you are the illustrator for Agua the Lizard Man. Yeah, that was a pretty cool, like, little project, just doing a little bit of character design for your novel. And Kazmarsk says, we need about 6,000 USD to start. Johnston is worth the money. Man, my internet is so slow tonight. Well, I hope sometimes my streams lag a little bit. I hope if my stream is lagging, usually it's on my end. Hold on, I got a message somewhere. Oh, it's Melody saying busy chat. Oh, wait. Let's see. Um, damn NSA or whoever it is. I wouldn't doubt it was the NSA, like fucking always getting to people's business and shit. Stupid Patriot Act. Feel like they have the right to just clog up everybody's internet. And let's see. Scarlet says seems okay so far. Been catching up on the videos. I'm seeing some good shit. Kazmark6 says, nah, Skull, I got it low down on me. Calican says, hey, Skull. Ah, all right. Hey, guys, just chat. Oh, yeah, I got another message. Oh, cool. Let's see. And again, for those who are interested in downloading this file, it'll be available on my Patreon. So if you have Photoshop and you want to like really get into this file and just see the whole thing in its entirety, just it'll be available free of charge on my Patreon. The only thing you got to pay for is your own copy of Photoshop. Oh yeah, I should stop beatboxing. Usually when I beatbox, the friggin' stream lags. It's one of those weird coincidences. He draws and he beatbox. There's too much talent going on here. I can't keep up. Not enough bandwidth. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is, but anyway. do do do. I've been having pretty like a lot of fun the last couple of days. Hold on. Sorry, I keep stepping away for a chat. But anyway, dude. I've been having like a little bit of fun last couple of actually this past week. It's like, yeah, sure, I've been pretty busy, like drawing up free art to auction off, and I got a decent amount of money on its way, and I'm hoping it gets here in time for me to pay my rent. But I'll figure something out. But other than that, I've just been like doing like a lot of live streaming on my Picardo channel, and just giving myself a chance to just finally like start doing some lewd type lowly sketches, and it's been pretty fun. It's been a while since I've like just like let loose like that, and I've just been like cranking away at like my little lowly notebook, my composite notebook of lowly sketches. And you know, it's been a while since I've allowed myself to like draw anything like that risque. Mostly because I've just been so busy and so overwhelmed with just keeping up with generating content specifically for Patreon and making animations for patrons and people to enjoy and look at and whatever, look at, download this and that. But this past week, even though I was busy just trying to generate or supplement my income and help pay my rent, I actually had some time to just do some free range sketches and just do some on Picardo, and it's been pretty fun. So if you want to come by and just check out the Picardo stream every now and then, I stream on a almost a daily basis, I would have to say. And I stream like Natus underscore 01, Bhawk, and I guess as myself also. But it's been pretty cool. Oh, because Marsic is saying or asking, feds are okay with that. Like, well, they can't really say anything because as long as I don't draw any porn, I'm good. So as long as I don't draw like genitalia, nipples, full on sex, I've been pretty much just drawing all the cheesecake art that I want. But I so want to just draw like more explicit stuff, but at the moment, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed that freedom of expression of art because the legal system in this country is fucked beyond belief. But I'm hoping things will change in the next few years. I mean, things have changed quite a bit behind the scenes um, since 2013, and I'm hoping things will continue to shift and change. I mean, in the last like the whole last decade, like yeah, things seem shitty, but like I think people are starting to come around to the fact of like how shitty things are. But yeah. Cosmostic says I'm gonna commission a new one. Just let me get my finances in order. That'd be cool. Um, I might be reopening for commissions sometime in the near future. Because my roommate has been getting pretty friendly with a lady that he's become pretty quick associates with, and he's thinking about moving out and getting a place with her. So I might need to take on like some commission work again in order to help pay my bills. So here in the near future, I think he was talking about getting a place with her sometime either, I guess, in December or sometime early in the coming year. So chances are I'm gonna have to reopen for commissions and just help supplement my income until Patreon becomes more of until I can become more self-sufficient with Patreon. Sweet, this is looking pretty cool. Pretty snazzy. Okay, so here was our rough sketch. Let me up the opacity on it. Just pretty like scratchy or whatever. And then here's the overlaying sketch. You can see like it's just like a lot more like there's a lot more form to it. And like when you get to download this file, let me get rid of this. I had this sketch here to this little shape here to just let me know where the neck was attached to the torso. But anyway, but when you download this from my Patreon, just you can like study it more in depth, and uh, hopefully it helps you like um, figure out what it is I do when I do foreshortening or whatnot. Hold on, catching up with the chat. Gotta fight for the right. Did you go to human rights? Did you get a good lawyer from them? I went to several advocacy like groups, but they keep telling me it's like, oh well, like obscenity is illegal. It's like I try to like tell them, but like it's artwork. You can't whatever, and it's like, well, there's nothing we can do if it's obscenity. Like fucking dipshits. None of them. I feel like it's like a case of like none of them want to get their hands dirty. Like none of them want to get cast in the same like stigmatic light that I'm having to deal with. So it's just fucking like some of the advocacy groups I approached are just like fucking bullshit. It's like they'll only take on a case if they feel, I guess, if as long as it doesn't pertain to like anything sexual or obscene. Right now the tone is like, well, if it's if it's the obscenity law, then you're SOL. It's like, but they won't give me the chance to like say, but it's just art. They're just drawings. There's no crime being committed, and they're just like blindly following along with the whole like fucking stupid obscenity law. But I don't think that obscenity law holds any water at all because fucking they've been working on filing new charges against me for obscenity just based on my previous art, and that was like over a year ago. Last it was over a year ago. It's like, well, they're still pushing to like file new charges on you for your drawings. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It hasn't happened yet. Anyway, let's see. Lawyers are expensive. I hear you, brother. Do-do-do. Yeah, I'm thinking about I guess in order to get more attention, I'm going to start doing some YouTube animations just talking about my whole experience through this whole fucking bullshit process and just really get the conversation going that way because no one's really willing to hear me out. So I figure if I just get all the facts and like case files and everything put together and put it in a coherent form, such as like a YouTube animation where I illustrate and animate everything that's pretty much wrong with whatever the fuck is going on, not only with me, but several other cases. Um, I can start generating or garnering more support that way. Because as things stand now, like no one's really willing to hear me out. Well, no one in an official sense or an official sitting is willing to like give me the time of day. So yeah, I'm gonna just animate everything up first or something. Super low says missed your stream earlier. Wait, are you talking to me? You missed my stream on Picardo? Oh, I was streaming this. This is what I was working on. Check it out. This is a like a She-Ra fan art, and I haven't even bothered watching the show because I hear like it's just stuffed full of like SJW whatever. But after hearing that like other artists were like making fan art, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own fan art and just make it as lewd as possible. So here I have She-Ra in her She-Ra form, and I'm gonna give her like friggin' pokies, just nipplies right there, and then just give her some camel toe, and then um, I'm gonna make an alternate version where I just make this costume just a whole lot skimpier, and then I'm gonna post that on Twitter and some of my various other art blogs. But yeah, this is what I've been working on for a little bit. Also got an alternate, well, like not an alternate, but another version in the works. Let me see if I can pull that up. Here it is. Yeah. Whoops. Damn it. Get on that side. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was working on. Cal Larkin says, "Don't watch it. Draw a debased art of it." Will do. I concur, Kazmarsik. Censorship is just getting way too out of hand. It's especially here in America, where America is just becoming this whole babysitting culture. It's like you can't do, say, or draw anything that offends people. If you do, like for somehow, like you get in trouble, or people attempt to sue you just for offending their sensibilities, and it's retarded. And like watching the censorship just getting out of control, especially with video game media, and like video game companies are starting to bow down to just this stupid SJW rhetoric, and they're starting to feel the pinch from that, and they're losing a lot of money. It's like, why do you submit to these idiots who ridicule your content um, for propriety's sake, when these are the people who don't even purchase your content? Like, just stay faithful to your fan base, stay faithful to your customers. Don't bow down to stupid SJW rhetoric, because these are idiots that just fucking feel that they have a valid opinion and want their opinion to be heard, and they're the ones who are just yelling loud enough until people just do what they say. And then when that happens, it's like fucking, you lose business, you lose customers, you lose faith in the people who have put you up, pretty much put you where you're at now. And then when you lose that, it's like you lose all integrity, and just everybody suffers for it. So I don't know how SJWs just got so fucking, their opinion just started to matter more than the freedom of expression of art. It's fucking retarded. And it's got to stop. I mean, when we're at a point when you're throwing people back in prison over a matter of drawings, that should be sending up like a whole lot of red flags. But fucking, I've been trying to get people's attention. No one really gives a shit. Oh wow, the chat's been the chat's going faster than it usually does. Um, yes, being subjectively offensive is a crime. Yeah, we're pretty much in the age of thought crimes right now. Before we approach or realize the Orwellian nightmare. Well, I'm glad I have your guys' support and your guys' ears, and like glad that you all understand where it is I'm coming from. And I feel like in order to reach out to other people who aren't aware of what's going on, I gotta start animating and writing and compiling informative animations just to illustrate that perspective. because for the most part, like a lot of people aren't really willing to hear me out. Well, they are, but it's the officials who can actually change a lot of this bullshit aren't willing to hear me out. It's like regular people, for the most part, are willing to hear what I have to say, and they understand and nod their head and just for the most part are in full agreement with a lot of the stuff I have to say. But when I try to gain help from either um, advocacy groups or public officials, they tend to just brush me off and um, disregard me. So I gotta start. What I gotta do is like catch the public opinion or like change the public opinion, grab the public's eye, and just and gain like a major following or just a lot of support that way. And I believe I can attain that through my creativity. So yeah, I'll just do it that way. Maybe then I'll have like a pro bono lawyer who like actually like, huh, this guy is talking a lot of sense. Let me look into his case. And then when he looks into my case and just like fucking, wow, this guy really got fucked over. And you know what? Like I've been hearing like a lot of these people who I come in contact through my whole like process. It's like my reputation precedes me. It's like every official that I just kind of come in contact with is like, oh, Mr. Blackhorse, I've heard a lot about you. And like, man, I really wish you would catch a break. And it's like, yeah, I really wish I'd catch a break too. And they just get like more or less give me nothing but well wishes, except for the the probation officers who are just fucking federal agents and just itching to throw anybody back in prison over some petty bullshit. And the shitty part about that is like the prison system itself is starting to crumble from the inside out, and I saw that very literally the last time they threw me in prison. And that again, that was over a matter of my drawings and like fucking man, it's a mess, and I don't even know what it's like in there now. You know what? I gotta write a letter to um, a couple inmates and see how they're doing and just get their viewpoint on the matter. See how things are going on their end. Whoops. Oops. Oh yeah, I've heard about Pizzagate. I heard about Pizzagate when I was in prison actually, and hearing the radio station Coast to Coast, and they had talked about it, and just like fucking thinking, you're just trying to imagine like how many of these like fucking public and elected officials have were involved in this scandal, and it's pretty crazy. Like especially when you hear stories of like people who were victims of Pizzagate wanting to come forward and like tell their story and just like give a very detailed either list or account of like who and like what had happened and who was responsible. But then like these former victims all of a sudden just get disappeared, and it's crazy and just kind of makes you wonder like how far does that rabbit hole go? I mean, who's involved? They're all involved, Blackhorse. Every single one of them. And that's why you should vote me for president, because I will expose every scandal, every conspiracy, every crooked wrongdoing. I will bring it all to light because I will be for full disclosure and just yeah. So vote for Blackhorse 2020. Let's take America back again. Anyway, here we have a base model figure drawn in foreshortened and somewhat forced perspective in a way. Wow, that came out pretty clean, especially the feet. I'm pretty proud of that. Whoops. I'll save it later and post it on my Patreon. Let me just check up with the. Kazmarsik says, point is you have not done any harm to anybody with your art, bro. That's the point. Yeah, pretty much. Scarlett says, gotta love it when the media twists it in a way where society will excommunicate you for saying any truth on Pizzagate, on the Pizzagate matter. Kazmarsik says, oh yeah, well, how will you handle the caravan? Oh, the caravan. Oh man, there's like a whole lot of things that need to be addressed, and I believe by solving one, like just a couple of the major issues, when solving those, like a lot of these um, problems will then fix themselves. But in order to solve some of the issues, like especially with the caravan, you have to peel back the layers and just address like what started the caravan. Like why are these in essence refugees coming to the U.S. border in mass, and it's due to the whole like they're fleeing the drug-ridden violence of their countries. And why is there drug-related violence? Because of the whole fucking war on drugs. And let's face it, the whole war on drugs is just bullshit. And like more and more, like as years go on, like even public officials are just acknowledging that it's been a farce this whole time. So let's equate the war on drugs to prohibition. Like fucking when prohibition became a thing, like what did that give rise to? That gave rise to all these gangsters who profited from the illegalization and criminalization of alcohol. And if not for prohibition, have have would these gangsters have like risen to the power that they did? I I highly doubt it. So like in order to fix a lot of these issues, I think just by legalizing and decriminalizing natural drugs and narcotics across the board, that would help ease the this forced war on drugs, or like a lot of the drug violence in general. Because when you legalize and decriminalize like a lot of these natural drugs and narcotic substances, you get people who aren't willing to uh, go those extreme lengths in order to attain that high. Like if we became a little bit more like I don't know, Amsterdam, or just where people could just do drugs recreationally, and if people were caught with like I don't know, meth or something, like just fucking confiscate that shit. I mean, is it just so? Do you have to go such a long length to just like throw people in prison for like a almost decades of their lives, and for what? Like I'm of the belief that that a lot of these drugs and narcotics should be legalized and decriminalized, and people are gonna be pissing and moaning is like fucking like what about the drug dealers? Like we don't want people dealing drugs to our kids. Well, it's like fucking just talk to your kids then. Like, is it just too much to ask you to be a fucking goddamn parent and talk to your kids about the dangers of alcohol and drug abuse? I mean, goddamn. And like fucking, I acknowledge that if drugs and narcotics are legalized and decriminalized across the board, like there are going to be ODs, and like fucking fine. I mean, if people want to consume a lot of these drugs in mass, then friggin' let them. I mean, if anything, like that would take care of like a lot of the lower dregs of society. But if they want to turn their life around, like if they realize like the damage that they're doing to themselves, then they have the opportunity and chance to do so. Just by making like a substance illegal and everything, it's just you're criminalizing a behavior and a like a more of like a sickness. And addiction is a disease, and like fucking you wouldn't go down the street and if someone has a cold or the flu, you don't friggin' imprison them. You get them some sort of help, or just fucking like let them just work through that. So if we gave these addicts a chance to just like work through their addiction instead of just throwing them in prison, I think we would have a lot better understanding of like how to better treat like like drugs and alcohol. So in that sense, like it would carry over to the fact that once drugs and narcotics were either legalized or decriminalized, it would take away the a lot of the criminal element, because the criminal element that people are fleeing from in countries south of the border are being funded by the illegal profit they're able to attain from the criminalization of these drugs. So by legalizing it and decriminalizing it, you make you take away that profit that they're getting. So in doing so, like a lot of these drug cartels and people who profit from the war on drugs, you uh, effectively just declaw like a lot of these organizations. And in a way, like perhaps you can like just help them, or in a way like maybe they can finally become legitimized, because and they can become legitimate suppliers instead of like these gun-toting friggin' um, cartels that have generated a criminal empire. Once like drugs and narcotics are both legalized and decriminalized, it would probably in effect just make these cartels legitimized, and then instead of being drug runners and mafia dons or whatever, they are in fact like farmers and fucking business owners and shit. And in doing that, like you take away like the criminal element and the major strife that a lot of these people are trying to run away from. But yeah, I believe like in addressing the caravan, you have to address or peel back the layers of what caused that caravan and address those issues. So anyway, that's what I would do if I were president. uh, okay, so the whole chat's been going crazy. It's been pretty busy, busier than usual. I'm afraid it's going to get to a point where I can't even like won't be able to follow along. I don't know what's been going on. Um, Skullhead says heading out. Catch you later. Um, Super Low says, sorry, JBH, but you're hurting yourself. Money makes everything happen. Your best thing to do is a tactical retreat. Just stop talking about your time in prison. Call it a break, a hiatus, whatever. No, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fucking face this thing head on. There's no reason to fucking. That's what they want me to do. They want me to feel shame about like everything that I've done, but like fucking, I didn't do anything in all actuality. Like there were like I have no immediate hands-on victims, and with my artwork there are no victims whatsoever, so I'm not gonna like tuck my tail between my legs and feel ashamed about what I've done, because in all actuality I didn't do anything, so I'm not gonna like be shy about what had happened to me, so like that's not gonna happen. Kesmarsik says Super Johnston is a heroic paladin type. He can't back down against evil. Pretty much. Paladins don't retreat. What if it benefits him though? Yeah, but I think by putting myself out there and just addressing the issues that I've had to face and addressing the issues that a lot of people are having to struggle with, like my main goal and focus is to dispel like this overbearing stigma that has been placed not only on me but like a whole shitload of people just stuck in the system who don't or shouldn't have to bear that stigma whatsoever. Kazmarsik, the truth must be spoken. Shoot, I lost my place. Um, would the cost outweigh the means? Objectively, isn't he's a great artist? Only reason not more of an audience is this stuff. I'm talking about being strategic. Put the money first. I sort of am in a sense, but like fucking, the only way I can make money is by drawing like risque artwork. I've tried to reach out to other companies to try to get another job, but due to the fact that I am a registered sex offender, no one's gonna fucking hire me, and that's just how it's going to be. So I just got to make my own way, and the only way I can do that is by drawing risque art, pinup art, cheesecake art, anything as close to pornography as I can without being pornographic, because that's where my audience is. That's where my support is. Because no other studio or company is going to want to hire me just because of this fucking overbearing label. So I got to do what I can to like make ends meet, and that's what I'm doing. But once I am self-sufficient, I'm going to start animating my story and just illustrating it, just so people are more aware of like the fucking bullshit that I've had to go with or um, go through to just fucking uh, uh, yeah. I can't even put my thoughts into words right now. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Retreat means silence. I'm not going to be silence. You're right, Kesmark. You're right, Kesmarsik. Retreat means silence, and I refuse to be silent. Silence is dangerous for Johnston. Let the record speak for itself. Yes, I agree. Money first, get established. That's what I'm trying to do, but I can only make money in just what I'm doing right now. And it's slow in coming, but it is steadily growing, and I really do appreciate that. And the money's coming. Like it's not like I'm not making any money, but I am uh, just skimming by. But it's growing at a a pretty steady pace. Sure, it's slow, but it's still growing. The moment Johnston's story gets told bigly, then suddenly the money is there with vengeance because his art is popular. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be aiming for. You didn't do anything, but the personal stuff is hurting your business stuff. You could get an audience that doesn't know or care about any of the personal stuff. Well, that's the whole thing that I'm getting at, is like fucking the the moment I try to like, I don't know, do something wholesome, like say I try to work for Disney, which is never going to happen because Disney is bullshit. Um, it's going to come out, and like when my history comes out, they're just going to fucking fire me. So I'm just having to do what I can at the moment. Exactly, you're the Marquis de Sade of our generation. Oh shit, Marquis de Sade. I think if I'm not mistaken, Marquis de Sade is that writer who wrote all those really raunchy stories way back in the day, and they imprisoned him for it, for just writing raunchy um, uh, sex novels and shit. But I might be mistaken. I don't know. Wait for the Lizardman to come out. Money will be flowing in both our pockets. Cool. Cal Larkin says you can make money off other than cheesecake, though. You have to give painfully mainstream. I can't. No one's gonna allow me to go mainstream. I've already tried, and because of my stigma, like fucking nobody wants to give me a chance. So I just have to go it my own. Draw any popular franchise. You guys just make it sound like it's so easy. It's like flipping a switch, but no, it's not. Like I've tried. I've reached out. I've attempted to get my foot in the door, but again, the stigma that is placed on me just blows all that out of the water. Um, Super Low says, so what you need is a group of other artists willing to work with you and establish a working art house. Oh my gosh. Like, again, before, if I want to jump into like a more legitimate art form, that's going to take money. Like all these ideas you're talking about of getting me to make money, that's going to take money. So I'm doing what I'm doing now in order to gain money, but once that money starts coming, like I'm not going to try to jump or conform into something that I don't appreciate or admire. I'm just going to go ahead and utilize that money for my own purposes, and just like getting my story out there or working on my own personal projects. I'm not going to waste time in like towing the line of some other company of just gaining like trying to, I guess, reinvent myself. That's like taking two steps forward only to just jump several feet back. Kesmarsik says, I disagree with you, gentlemen. What Johnston needs to do is go back to his epic native stage and beat the censors at their own game, which is pretty much what I'm having fun at doing right now. It's like I'm just like teetering over that edge, but it's that edge where I get a lot of notoriety. It's at that edge where like I get all the views and the support and the acknowledgement and everything. And when I get those views, I get that support. People flock to my Patreon, and I start generating more patrons. And I'm not going to generate any more patrons by reinventing myself. By reinventing myself, I'm just going to lose all that funding. It's all going to fucking disappear. And reinventing myself is going to take time, and that's time that I don't have. So like I'm just going to keep doing what it is I'm doing because it's working. Because if I try to jump in like another form of artwork, or for lack of a better word, like a legitimate artwork or whatever, I'm just going to have to start all the way from scratch, from square one. But that's just a jump in the wrong direction. Kesmarsik says, Johnson, you were right about Desaad. Yes. And he and you are my heroes. Woo! You know what? I should fucking start doing a graphic novel of Desaad's work. Oh shoot, that'd be fucking crazy. Cal Larkin says, then steady the course then, only you know what feels right. Yes, I do. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Kazmersik says you got to waltz with the cops, but the fact is that they arrested you for looking at naked girls, and that is just absurd. Something that needs to change. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, fucking like people are getting thrown in prison for just possessing supposed like child pornography, even if it doesn't even qualify as child pornography. All they have to do is just tell them they're arrested for child pornography, even though like the subject matter doesn't even qualify. They just have to keep twisting that arm, applying that what was it, prosecutorial pressure, and all they need to do is just threaten a plea deal out of you, and that's it. Superlow says, I mean, you and other similar artists establishing your own art imprint, that doesn't really take money. It takes cooperation and organization. Again, that's going to take time, and that's time that I don't have. I mean, to generate a collab with somebody is just going to take time away from the money that I'm already generating at the moment. Cal Larkin says, it's all the same to them. Demonizing over generalizations. Yeah, it's that's all it. That's all pretty much court cases are nowadays, is just an overgeneralization and prosecutorial coercion through that overgeneralization. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on such like a political and legal rant at the end of this video. I was hoping to keep it pretty short because I'm going to start another stream, just doing like another Picardo Natus live stream. And yeah, if you want to check up on that Picardo stream, like the link to my Picardo channel is in the description section below. So yeah, go check it out because I will be there shortly. And I hope y'all enjoyed this how to art. It was pretty cool. I feel like I did a pretty good job on this one, from like the rough sketch to like a more solid sketch into a somewhat like finalized version. Like it's just like a lot more solid. So it's going to be again, like once this video is uploaded to my Patreon, the Photoshop file is going to accompany it. So if you want to download the Photoshop file and look at this drawing more in depth, you may do so. It just, if you have Photoshop, you just download it and just pick it apart from there. And this is a pretty new feature, so like you can look at my previous how to art videos on my Patreon, and it's all free. You know, you don't have to become a patron. Like my art tutorials are free, so check out my art tutorial posts on Patreon, and there you will find in the more recent submissions, you will find an accompanying Photoshop file to go with the tutorial. So check it out, and yeah, check out all my links. And again, like if you want to support this video, this channel, check out my Patreon, and yeah, consider clicking that become a patron button. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go start. Well, actually, I'm gonna go get myself something to eat because all I had today was a couple of warm, heated up burritos, and afterwards I'm going to jump on Picardo and start another live stream, and it's gonna most likely be another Natus_01 live stream because I've been sketching a Little Red Riding Hood piece, and yeah, I'm just gonna show that off. So anyway, oh, and if Patreon's not your thing, I also have a GoFundMe account. So that also is linked in the description section below. So like, you know, if you want to toss me a few bucks here and there, just yeah, visit that and donate if you want to. So I hope you all had fun. It's always a blast interacting with all the people who show up in the chat. So thank you to Rudy Hishino, Cal Larkin, Robin Kesmarsik, Skullhead, um, Super Low, and I believe, excuse me, I believe that's it. So yeah, it's always a blast interacting with you guys, having a discussion with you guys. I mean, this stream was pretty fun, not only for the drawing but also for the political and legal rants. And yeah, I just it's just pretty neat. I'm just glad to have people who are willing to discuss these issues with me, and just just so I can also like share my viewpoint of like what it is that I'm going through, and like how um, maybe like going over some possible solutions of like how to overcome that. But anyway, I'll get to that when I get to it. And again, like I'm steadily but surely, generating an income, and I'm getting to a point where I'm almost self-sufficient. So there is no need for me to reinvent myself or try to collab with a bunch of artists who uh, I doubt will um, help me out, because I've already been dropped by a lot of friends and like associates, and for the most part, like a lot of the artists are pretty cool with my situation, but they're really too busy with their own thing, just trying to help and support themselves as well. So it's pretty strenuous process, not only for me, but again for that artist too. So they have their own fish to fry. So anyway, I do appreciate the input and the ideas, um, but at the same time, it's gonna it, just doing all that. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to just stop whatever it is I'm doing, switch gears, and just start from square one. But that would just hurt my situation more than help it. But anyway, again, thanks for watching. I shall check you all later. I'm gonna go get something to eat. So yeah. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe, ring that notification bell, because I'm always releasing new content on a weekly basis. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.